So you asked about the word unassailed, and this is the
Unassailable.
that's it. So let me just read it for you. So the unassailable, that's the name of this story that we're going to read. If something is a good example is in a situation where maybe you're in a race and you're so far ahead in the race, perhaps it's a running race or something, you're so far ahead, there's no way someone can beat you because you're, let's say, a mile or 2 kilometers ahead of everybody else. You could say you are unassailable. In other words, you can't be beaten in that race. That's really what unassailable means. You can't be beaten. I've read the story already, so I know this is about sort of fighting in this story. And you can use that in sort of a war context too. If you're unassailable in a battle, it just means that you can't really lose for some reason. We don't know what the reason is, of
You
course.
cannot. You can't.
You can't lose. Does that make sense, Susie? Do you know when I say you can't lose, do you know what that means? Can you hear me okay, Susie?
Yes, you can't lose. You are the winner.
You maybe you haven't won just yet. You know, in a race, you're running in a race, there's people behind you and you're in the lead. Yeah. If you're so far ahead that you cannot lose, you are unassailable in that race.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay, you don't sound too sure.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Yeah, just say just if I explained it and you understand, you say I understand, Tony. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on going on. And that gets a bit boring after a little while. So do say if you understand it. So, but the word unassailable can be used in a few other ways, but it's a similar sort of meaning. In other words, for some reason, you cannot be beaten. That's what it means,
Mhm.
basically.
Okay, yes, yes,
Okay,
okay.
so that's the title then. So the unassailable is the title, and so it's over to you, Susie, to read this story here. Do your
Okay.
best. Just maybe just read this one side here, and someone else read on the other side in a few minutes. So over to you, Susie.
So,
Thank you.
okay, the unassailable.
That's it.
My name is Gustav Braun. I am a soldier. Every time I hear the age-old call to arms, my life starts over again. I was in the first rank of Alexander's phalanx and already knew then that I was unassailable. I
Mhm.
sowed the seeds of death and trampled on the corpses of my enemies, and right and left of me my comrades fell down dead, with smiles on their faces, while Alexander knew the true value of his greatness only when I left his forces. Then followed Caesar's legions, the accursed barbarians, and centuries of dark oblivion. I forgot all the names under which I fought for all those years. I was witness to the rise of great empires as well as to their complete annihilation.
Mhm.
Down, modesty. After all, it was I who had brought these bloodthirsty leaders to power, as well as being the reason for their ultimate downfall.
Mhm. I thought that was
One,
great. I'll stop you a second there. Okay.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Good reading. Very good. So, what's your trickiest words there, do you think? I noticed a few, but what would you like to sort of go back over again to practice or to work out what the meaning is of any of those words? Any words there?
No, you have to tell me because I am sure I made some mistakes in reading.
So do you think all of those words, you know the meaning of all of these words, would you
No,
say?
no, no,
Oh, but
absolutely.
I don't know which words you don't know the meaning of. So how about annihilation? Do you know the meaning of that word?
No.
Annihilation. That's it.
Annihilation.
Yeah, that's close. Let me say it for you. Annihilation. Annihilation. Do you want to try again? Annihilation.
Annihilation. Annihilation.
Um, Almost. So let me just give you the meaning of the word then as well. So if something is annihilated, it's completely destroyed.
Ah, annihilated.
Something that if something's not just sort of damaged, but completely destroyed, obliterated to nothing, basically. Let's pop
Mm,
it into the dictionary, is the meaning of the word. And perhaps with an explosion to boot as well. So let's pop it in here. Hardware acceleration. That's the problem with my my we're trying to copy this word here. Yes, this is good, isn't it? So it's brought up the meaning here actually. So complete destruction or obliteration. So
mhm,
obliteration and annihilation, very similar meaning, really. Or it
mm,
could also mean total defeat. If you are playing a game and you perhaps annihilate your enemy, in this game, let's say, you can say if you annihilate them, you totally destroyed them, you could say. We're putting it down. I'm trying to
mhm.
get to, oh dear. So there we go. Hit search. This is so we can hear them saying it. So total destruction. That's it. There we go. So some people pronounce the H a little bit, I would say, but a lot of people don't really it's quite hard to hear the H in the middle. So let's hear how they say it.
Mhm. Annihilation. Annihilation.
Hmm. It's not coming through, is it? So let's just do it here then. So annihilation. Annihilation.
Annihilation. Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Oh, there she goes. Try again. Uh,
Ah, annihilation.
yeah, that's getting better. Annihilate. Some people say the H and some people don't. So annihilation, I would say. Annihilation.
Annihilation, yes. Mhm,
Yeah, I would say that's it. Oh dear. So I definitely need a new computer.
mhm.
Okay, so let's go back with our story then. Here we go. That's our story then. So annihilation. That's the word there.
Annihilation.
And it
Mhm.
means complete destruction, basically. So what other words don't you know the meaning of?
Yes, sowed, sowed, sowed.
Sword.
I sowed the seeds of death.
Oh, sowed. Okay, so if you're a farmer and you have seeds in your hand, you want to plant next year's crops, you sow the seed in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing something so you've got crops next year. But if you're a but here this is sort of a metaphorical or sort of poetical way of talking about death. So this man, Gustav Braun, he said that he sowed the seeds of death. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, he means he just it's a fancy way of saying he was in a battle. He was fighting people in a battle. So it's sort of a
Mm-hmm.
poetic way of saying he was fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you
And
sow
also,
seeds, it's about a farmer might do that.
I don't know the meaning of accursed, the accursed
Yes,
barbarian. Yes,
cursed.
and
Uh,
oblivion.
so can you see the word there is the word curse there too. If you curse someone, you swear at them, perhaps because you don't like them. Do you know what a curse is? A curse? So it's basically swearing effectively, you might say, at
Mm.
someone. Effectively. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a so they're saying it's you wouldn't use it generally in everyday language. So they're saying under a curse, and a particular one might be the angel of death walks this accursed house. So used to express strong dislike or anger at someone or
Ah, okay.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you.
if you sort of swear at someone, it means you don't like them generally, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And also oblivion. Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Oblivion is again, this is sort of literary, so you wouldn't use it probably in everyday language, but it does get used in writing. So you could say oblivion is either a place or an experience. Some people talk about oblivion as the place you go when you die. Some
Ah,
people
okay.
think you might go to heaven. Some people say, well, we don't go to
Oblio.
heaven, we go
Oblio
to
is
oblivion.
in Italian. Oblio. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Ah,
When
okay.
you forget something, when you forget forever.
Oh, right, okay. That's interesting. But another way of looking at it is if you're unconscious, perhaps you, there's a way of being another way of describing of being unconscious, but it's a much more poetic way of saying it in
Mm-hmm.
English. Being unconscious, being unaware of stuff that's happening,
Okay.
basically. Being unaware is a good way of putting it, I think. Anything else there? Any words you're not sure of the meaning? Any other ones?
No, no, no. Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
that's good then. Okay. So when it says comrades, so
Oh,
what are
my
comrades?
companions.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, basically a companion. Yes. I think in the West, when we say comrades, a lot of people might think about communism because in communism they often talked about comrades, people who are with you in if you were a communist, but they were often referred to as comrades, fellow comrades. So if you're a red, a communist, you often might be referred to
Oh, okay.
as a comrade. How about the word phalanx? What does that mean? Phalanx up there.
It's a line of battle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's basically a group, a way the soldiers group up together,
Yes, a soldier
basically.
group. Exactly.
Do you
That's it.
know in particular what soldiers did it? Because soldiers today don't do this. So which soldiers in particular do you know that did this?
No.
Okay. Well, it says Alexander. So basically Alexander the Great. So
Yes.
this is over 2,000 years ago. His soldiers, when they were grouped up this way, were called a phalanx. A
Oh, okay.
phalanx.
Thank you, Tony. Okay.
So it's basically the Greeks. Only the Greeks only talk about
Greek.
phalanxes.
Okay, thank you.
So
Mm.
that's Alexander the Great. So what do with Caesar's troops? How are they normally talked about? They're not.
Roman. The Roman.
They're Romans. That's it. But often they're talked about as legions, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Legions. It's similar in a way to a phalanx.
Phalanx. Okay.
Sort of. It's not
So,
exactly the same thing,
yes.
but it's similar. Okay, so, and how would
Okay.
you explain the word barbarians? What are barbarians, would you say?
Barbarians.
Yeah,
Barbarians. Mm-hmm.
what does it mean though? Who are these people that are called
These
barbarians?
are, yes, the barbarians are, mm, yes,
Tricky.
barbari in Italian means
Barbary.
people from a northern country, from North Europe, for example, who tried um, uh, to
So it's
have
an
a
ancient, you're saying
battle.
it's sort of an ancient word, aren't you? You're
Yes,
giving it
that
the old
were
meaning.
against the Romans.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so based in Roman times, everybody who wasn't a Roman was a barbarian.
A
A
barbarian, yes,
barbarian.
exactly.
And the Greeks had a similar sort of idea too. Basically the same
Hmm.
thing. I think they sort of copied it, didn't they, really? So if you're if you're not a Roman, you're a barbarian. That's basically the
You are
meaning. Yeah,
barbarian. Okay.
I thought it was very well read overall. I like that. Very good. It was very clear. Um, there was a couple of words maybe I could pick out if I can think of them now. I remember the word. I remember hearing the word here, and it's in the beginning. I can't. Oh, it's right there. The word here. Can you just say it again? Hear, when you hear something, hear music, can you just say the word again?
Here,
Ah, that's better. Yeah, yes.
here.
Um, when when there's lots of words in a sentence and here is in the middle of it, you say
Yeah,
it sort of the way that we're saying it now. Here, like that.
yeah,
But you sort of said it with as if perhaps it was on its own. So it was more like here. Like there was almost like a Y in the middle, I think, when you said it a little bit. Just so you've got it now. That's it. I just want to highlight that maybe. Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, here. That's it. You've got it. And I noticed, I noticed in particular the with the word death, the
Death,
T, the and again,
death,
yes,
death.
yeah, pretty much. It's the TH sound on the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit, it was a little bit weak. So can we just do that little bit for maybe that word?
Death, death.
And yeah, so I think what I'm hearing now is that word, death.
Oh, death.
Yeah.
So what?
So the obviously different, complete different meanings, aren't they? But I'm hearing this word at the bottom when you're saying it because
Mm-hmm.
the F and the TH are very similar, sort of can be confused a little bit. So if I say both of these for you, so death, death,
Death, death.
yeah. And the
Okay.
bottom one, deaf, deaf.
Death. And the yes, the
And,
upper death.
oh, that's
Death,
better. Death, death.
death,
And again,
death, death.
one of them sound okay, and the other one didn't. So you're a little bit not quite there, I would say.
I know
So
it's
so so with the
difficult.
so with the th, you push just touch your tongue against the back of your teeth at the top set of your teeth, and the air just rushes over your tongue to get that sound.
Death,
But with the it's your lower lip up against your teeth. Does that make sense? Deaf,
death, death,
deaf.
death.
Yeah. So
It's
does that make
difficult.
sense what I'm saying? It's your tongue to get the th against your
Yes,
teeth,
tongue.
and
Yes,
it's your lower lip to get the f.
F.
Okay, so
Yes,
just perhaps make a note of that and practice that word. There's
death,
loads and loads and
death.
loads of words. You
Yes.
write it down somewhere and practice it.
Oh, okay. I write it
It's well,
down.
just briefly. You don't have to sort of leave the room or anything.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
so, and I noticed there's another word there too. Maybe we'll stop at this point. So there's that word. I think you said that word quite well. That's you read that out. So that's fought. When you have a battle in the past tense, you can say fought. But if you
Oh,
think about something in the past tense, it's this word here, and they're similar sounding. So the top one is thought, thought, and the bottom one is fought, fought. Yeah.
mm.
Can you do both of these ones now? So the top one first, maybe?
So, so, and the bottom, foot.
Yeah, okay. I missed the T out there, my mistake. So yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. So
No,
it's the T again. Sorry, it's the tongue again, but around the back of the teeth to get the
foot,
the.
foot,
Um,
foot.
you're trying, but it's not quite there, I think.
No,
So you actually touch the back of your teeth with your tongue, or you can, if you really want to do it strongly, put the tip of your tongue out of your between your two sets of teeth, so that you're sticking the tip of your tongue out of your mouth a little bit. That's another way of doing it. It gets the same sound, really. So if I
no.
do it, if I do just the th and then the word, so th 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 th
Foot,
th. That's me
foot.
touching my tongue against my
Yeah,
back of my teeth and drawing it away. So you get that sort of thudding sound a little bit. Th, 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 th.
foot,
So it's nothing, and the F is obviously f, 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 and the
foot,
TH is th,
foot.
th, th.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
difficult. It's
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. So you've written, there's another couple, perhaps write these two words down along with the death and the deaf to practice afterwards, maybe.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
It's just that where the tongue is. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
another word to test out. Is this word down here? What does that word mean down there, where my cursor is, if you see it?
Brought.
Starting with the D. I'm just below the word. Four letters. Damn. Can you see it there? Damn.
Down.
And again,
Down. Down.
you're half there. In English we say damn,
Ah,
damn.
down.
So
Down.
the N is almost silent in a way. What is silent? Really? Damn, damn.
Down.
So do you know what that is? What it means? Why we use it, or when it gets used? Any idea, Susie?
Down. Down means to harm someone.
To do what? Sorry, someone
Harm.
harm them.
No, harm. Harm.
Uh,
No.
I can't work out what that word is. Can you
Down.
use a different
Down
word?
means yes to do an injury.
Um, in a way, but this is more sort of with words. You might want to injure them. You wouldn't do it physically.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say damn the police, it means you're angry at the police. If you say damn the
Oh,
police,
okay. Yes.
this is sort of like a swear word,
Okay, it's a
but
swear
it's
word.
not very
Okay.
harsh. If you In olden times, this was quite a very harsh word, but nowadays most people it isn't. So if you damn someone, it means you want them to go to hell. You don't want them to go to heaven, you want them to go to hell. That's what you're saying basically with that
Yes,
word.
harsh. Yes, okay.
Damn them. Another way of saying it is damn them to hell. That's another way of saying it. But here he's saying damn modesty. So I think he's too modest. So he's saying his own modesty is a problem to him. That's what I think he's really saying here.
A problem. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wishes he wasn't quite so modest, which is a strange way to say it, isn't it, really? But funny. Okay, so I
Okay.
thought
Thank
that was
you.
very well read, actually. So, anyone else at all have any questions? And as you too, Susie. Anyone else have any questions about this little bit here that we read
No,
out? No.
me no. Thank you.
Anyone else? No. Good. Okay. I must say, Susie, I think from memory, I think you were better than when you previously were reading it. I think you've definitely got better, to my mind. Well
Then
done.
previous.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Honestly. Oh my
I think
God.
I think it's a harder passage we've read. There's lots of unusual words, and I think the pronunciation was good. And you didn't know some of these words like annihilation, so that's the word there. Okay, so thanks very much, Susie. So
Thank you.
if we go over to Ruslan now, so maybe is it okay if you read this section over here, Ruslan? It starts out perhaps
Yeah,
with
okay.
only once, maybe. Okay, over to you
Okay,
then.
no problem. 1 second, please.
Okay, yes.
Mhm. Only once did I allow myself to be grounded, but I very quickly realized that my bestowal was becoming a heavy burden. And that if I did not return to the ranks as an ordinary soldier, I would have to conquer the whole world. And that was not in my plans. I lived I lived so many lives that I started quite naturally to recall how Alexandra with uh, with precise movements of his sword clasped hand would triumphantly direct his phalanx, which had managed to withstand the enemy's simultaneous assault and assault on four sides. or I would recall how Caesar from the top of a hill would look down on the legions which had shattered the Greek phalanx that had proven ini- ini- invincible, invincible in the valleys, but powerless in the Balkan foothills. The ease with which I was able to see through the commander's eyes what was happening around made me begin to seriously believe in the unassailability of one of my warriors who Alous found himself at the very centre of the battle, but who always emerged unharmed.
Okay, so shall we stop it there?
Yeah, okay.
Give it a hold there. Only just turned the page over. So any of these words here, these of this little bit here that you read, you
I'm
want to go
not
back over again?
sure. I'm not sure if I said the correct unharmed.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Let me read this little bit here again then.
Okay.
So this is the man who always found himself at the center of the battle, but who always emerged unharmed. Yeah, so the H is pronounced unharmed. Do you want to say it again? Unharmed.
Unharmed.
Yeah.
Unfarmed. It is means like harm, yeah, but unharm it is means that opposite of harm,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yes. So he would be unhurt. He would have no injuries on him.
No
No
injuries,
injury.
yeah,
He
okay.
was in a battle, but somehow he never got hit with the sword or shot or something with an arrow or anything like that. So he's
Mm-hmm.
bloodless, let's say. Makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay.
And emerged. If you emerge, it's sort of you come out of somewhere. If you emerge, you might emerge from a tunnel. I emerge from my bed every morning. So coming out of somewhere is the word emerge. Okay. And I
Oh,
think maybe the word always wasn't 100% clear, I think, when you were saying it. It probably because I just turned the page over and this first always, I think, caught you a little bit. Did you want to say, do you want to just read those last few words again? So always found himself at the center. Do you want to read all that chunk again? Just
yeah,
one.
okay.
That's it. Thanks.
Always found himself at the very center of the battle, but who always emerged unharmed.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's great. That's very, very good. That's brilliant. Um, and
Shall I ask you about
mhm.
emerge? It is connected with emergence, no?
Yeah, it is
Emergency,
relate. Yes,
emergence.
same, basically the same word. Yes,
Yeah,
emergence.
it is like appear. Yeah, appear.
Appear.
Um,
Oh, appearance. Appearance.
appearance,
Yes.
appearance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
So as I was just saying, so if if you emerge or if I emerge, it means you've just suddenly appeared, as you said, from
Uh-huh.
somewhere.
Suddenly. Okay. Okay.
Sort
Uh,
of suddenly. As I said, so if a train comes out of a tunnel, it emerges from the tunnel. The train emerges from the tunnel. Or if I get out of bed, you could sort of say I emerged out from the bed. I came out of the bed. I was covered up with the bed. You couldn't see me, maybe. I pulled the bedclothes
okay.
back and then you could see me. I emerged from the bed. Funny thing to
Okay.
say,
Okay. I
maybe,
got
but
it.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
use that probably in everyday language, but here we go. But then maybe some people do. So any words here? There's a few words here which look a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
So anything want to go back over again?
Yeah. Let's start with uh, crowned, crowned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are
Or
pretty. Oh, that's it. Your last one was it. That's it. Yes. So crowned. That's it. Crowned.
Round. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
crowned. Yeah,
And
maybe the.
yeah,
Mhm.
and ed made me confused, and
Yeah, it
I,
does. It
I
does.
I said yeah, grounded, but I should say crowned. Yeah, crowned.
That's it. That's it. You got it. That the
Okay.
last one is. That's it. You've got it. You've got it now. That's it.
Okay. Bestowal.
Yeah, that's a good pronunciation. So I've just clicked on it now. So it's really to do with if you get a crown, if you become a king. So
Yeah.
it's a verb, I think they're saying. So confer or present an honor, right or gift. So if you become a lord or a
Mm,
king, or you get put in charge of something important, you can say
okay.
you've been bestowed this honor, or you've been bestowed this title, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So really, it's sort of it's basically it goes back to the word crowned. He almost wants to put the same word in. He could almost put the same word here, crowned, in there, but
Mhm.
you don't really want to use the same word twice in the one sentence. So this is a similar word to the word above, really, bestowal. So he received a crown. That's what it means.
Okay. He received the crowd.
Yeah, noble
Okay.
crown. Yeah, that's it.
Uh,
Any other words there?
a heavy burden. Burden. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me say that for you. So, um, becoming a heavy burden. Becoming a heavy
Ah,
burden. So burden. That's it. So
burden.
it's burden. Burden.
Burden. Mm, mm.
So
I
so the first bit is burr.
bear.
More
Bear.
burr. You're saying bear. It's more
Yeah.
burr.
Ba.
Uh,
Burden.
so bur,
Ba. Ba.
uh, burden, burden,
Ba.
burden.
Burden.
Yeah, yeah, that's it,
Burden.
that's it. Yeah,
Burden.
burden,
Okay.
burden.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we use the sound quite a lot, so get used to saying.
Mm.
What was I going to say? So if something a heavy burden, it's like a heavy load that someone is carrying. So it could be a real load, like a pack on your back full of heavy
Yeah.
metal or something.
Okay.
But often it's used sort of as like a metaphor. So maybe all of your problem, you could say all of your problems are your burden, you could say. All of your
Yeah.
difficult problems you
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
cope with. Or it could be a physical weight, a big heavy weight or a load or something. But
Okay.
if it's a
Okay.
burden, it means you're carrying it. You are carrying it normally on your back in some way, or in your head if it's problem sort of thing. Anything else
Do you
there?
think people use it very often, this burden in a daily life?
I wouldn't say very often, but if you're talking to your best friend or something and you're saying, "Oh, I've got some real burdens in my life," you might say
Yeah.
it. It's not
Okay.
very common, but it's not
Yeah.
impossible.
Okay. Okay. Conquer. Is
Yeah,
it
that's
okay?
good.
Yeah.
Yes, conquer. That's it. Conquer. Yeah,
Conquer.
you've got it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you conquer, it means you've won that battle, whatever it is. You've just won whatever that battle was.
Ah. Okay.
So we're talking about fighting here, so it's some sort of a battle that he won.
Okay.
That's the meaning of it. Won a battle. Anything else?
Nature. Precise. Did
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
that's it.
correct? Yeah.
That's it.
Precise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Precise.
You said it a few times, and the last
Yeah.
time you got it
Yeah.
right, and you're getting it right now. So that's it. So it sort of means accurate, very accurate, basically, is what this word
Yeah.
means. Precise.
Precise.
That's it, precise. Do you want to say it again? Precise.
Precise.
That's it. That's it.
Precise.
But while we're here, so this name here, so this is Alexander. He's one of the world's most famous military commanders, and one of the world's most successful military commanders of all time, basically. And he lived about
Okay.
2,300 years ago, approximately. And I think he died at the
Okay.
age 33. I think he died. incredibly young. Um,
43?
he died very young at the age of about
Yeah.
33, I think it was. Was it
Yeah.
31? Well, a very young age
But
anyway.
he died from some disease or he was killed.
It's debated. It's been
Ah,
debated. Some people, if you look at the stories, it looked like he was having a party and he just drunk too much.
yeah.
Some people think one of his someone poisoned him. Some people think that, and there is
Ah,
some sense to that. It does
mhm.
make a lot of sense in some senses, but I
Mm,
mention him in particular because when you're saying his name, Alexander, you're saying it Alexandra. You
ah,
put like an A on the end of it. Like that would be a lady. I would think of that as a lady's
uh-huh.
name.
Mhm.
This is the gentleman's name. So Alexander, and the other one is Alexandra. Alexandra.
Ah,
So the other one ends D-R-A, whereas this one is D-E-R. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. So anything else you want to
Alexander.
get? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would like, yeah, say, unsolved,
Oh, onslaught.
on,
So yeah,
onso,
yeah, that's it.
unsolved. Yeah, unsolved.
Almost. So the on bit is right. It's the slaught bit. So onslaught, onslaught.
Ah,
You know if you
onslaught.
you know if you go to a butcher's shop and you're buying meat. Let's say you're buying meat in a shop.
Yeah.
That those animals have to be slaughtered. They have to be killed. And the word they use is slaughter. They go to the slaughterhouse and the animal, let's say it's a sheep or a cow, is killed in the slaughterhouse or the abattoir.
Ah,
So that's the word slaughter. So that's got ER on the end of it, slaughter. So this is related but slightly different, and it's sort of often used in battle, but it can use it elsewhere too. But so this is onslaught, onslaught. Do you want to give it another go?
ons
Onslaught.
onslaught.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Onslaught.
Yeah. So maybe just do maybe just forget the on bit for the moment. Forget about that and just do the slaughter. Slaughter. It's a tricky word. Slaughter.
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 Yeah.
Slaughter.
Um, it's a tricky word, isn't it? Let's so on I've forgotten how to spell it myself. Have I spelled it correctly? Is that
Yeah.
right? Slaughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have spelled it right. My spelling is so bad, I have to keep checking. So I've put a capital S in it, I think, haven't I? So and I put a gap in too. Well, we could just leave them separate for the moment. So yeah, so there isn't really on its own. I don't think this word really exists. Slaught, slaught. But put on in the front of it, it exists, and put an er on the end. That's another word again. Is that slaughter? I think that's the word slaughter. I think that's the word slaughter anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Slaughter. So when an
Slaughter.
animal is killed for meat, the animal gets slaughtered. But if there's a battle, you could say that it's happened to people as well, if it's a terrible battle. But here, it is a battle, but it's not, no one dying necessarily. So in this battle, you can call a particularly ferocious, a very hard battle. You can call it an onslaught. And it doesn't necessarily says that anybody died, but it's just saying there's a big fight going on.
Yeah.
Does that make
Okay.
sense? It's a bit confusing. It doesn't get a great deal of use, to be honest, and we don't use it in everyday language. But if you're reading in the newspaper about a battle, they might use this phrase here. So it's just a big fight is going on, is what it's saying.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thanks.
But in particular, it's saying so there's an onslaught on four sides. So it's from the front. This battle is going on. It's going on from behind you. This battle at you, and it's going on from your left side and your right side. So that is a massive, massive battle, or a terrible battle. You don't want to be in
Yeah.
that kind of a
Yeah.
battle anyway. Okay, so there we go. Anything else?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
invincible, yeah,
Yeah, you've pretty much got it. Yeah, I like that because when you first started out, when you were reading it, you weren't there at all, but you've pretty much got it now. Well done. So you've got it. Invincible, invincible. Do you want to try again?
invincible,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Invincible.
invincible.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're invincible, it means it's the same as the title, really. It sort of means the same thing as the title.
Uh-huh.
So if you're invincible, it means you can't be beaten once again. I can't really think of a different way of putting it. Yeah, you can't be beaten.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a bit like, there's the word if you have a victory, I
Yes.
think the vict bit here is based on that. I think it is anyway. So,
Yeah,
so that
for
means you
example, we can say about the person who are the best in a world on some kind of sport, yeah, like a
yeah,
boxing, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Person from this country is
Mm.
invincible
That's
at
it,
the
yeah.
moment,
That's
yeah,
it, yeah, yeah. You can say that, yeah, and it does get used in sport. That's true, yes. Or a football team, if it's at the
yeah.
top of the league, you might say they're almost invincible. This team is invincible. No one's
Mm,
beaten them this year. And then they go and
mm.
lose, of course. That's what normally happens, isn't it? So that's it,
Yeah.
invincible. You've got it. Well done. I did notice this word here. That this sometimes happen when there's a V in a word at the beginning, and then there's L's. The L's get sometimes pronounced like a W. So I think you said this word something like vowies. So,
Um,
I would say this word is, I might be wrong, but so this word is pronounced as valley, valleys, valleys. Do you want to give it another go?
Wallace, Wallace,
Yeah, the W sounds like it's at the front now. So
uh,
the
Wallace,
the V is similar to an F
Wa-
really in that you use your lower lip touching up against your upper teeth. V, V, V. Do you want to try to get the
Wa-
V sound? V,
Wa- W- W- Wallace, Wallace.
valley. I can almost hear a W trying to get out. There's this very like a
Mm,
5% W trying to get out. Yeah, so I think you know how to do it, but it is tricky getting it, isn't it? So any
yeah.
other words here?
Sarah believe in herself. How about this last one of my warriors? Warrior.
Yes, that's it. So a warrior are the other fighters in perhaps
Ah,
in your group of soldiers or whatever. So the other you can be a warrior too. It just means you're a fighter. You're a fighter.
just a fighter, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But normally only used in battle, talk about battles or something. That's it. So warrior, and there's an S on the end. So warriors, warriors. So you might worry about something if you can't pay the bill and you worry about it. It's a
Ah,
different meaning, completely different meaning and different spelling, but it sounds very similar. Sounds very similar.
like a
So warrior,
warrior. Okay.
warrior.
Warrior.
Yeah, warrior. Yeah. So let's put both those words on the screen. So if you worry a lot about something, you can't. Let's say you can't. You're in a hotel. You've just taken your girlfriend or wife or partner to a restaurant and you can't pay the bill. You
Mhm,
might worry about something.
mhm.
And I guess if I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and if you're a warrior, I think that's how you spell warrior. So if you worry a lot about things, you can say this warrior. That's about I can't pay the bill. But if you're in a battle, it happens to be this word. Have I misspelt that one? It's AR,
Oh,
isn't it? I've forgotten how to spell worry, is it?
instead of
Oh, it's
a,
OR. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my spelling's appalling. I knew it wasn't ER. There we go, warrior. So they look similar, don't they? But there's different letters in there, and there's almost the same pronunciation. Well, they are the same. I think they are the same pronunciation, really, aren't they? Warrior. Yeah, they are the same pronunciation. So different meanings, though. They might be related in that if you saw a fighter, you might be worried to meet them, I guess. But so that was good. Anyone else have any questions about this little bit here? I say anyone else. I think it's Susie and Zach, if you guys are still with us.
Sorry, Tony?
So I don't know if you've had any questions about this little bit here, Susie, or anyone else.
No, no, thank you very much. Thank you very
That's
much.
that's great. Hope that makes sense.
Okay, thank you
So
very much.
I have read the whole story. If you go onto the meetup page, there's a link to me reading it on YouTube, the whole story. That I don't know if that helps or not. If it does, that's great. So Zach, I hope you're still with us, Zach. Are you still there, Zach?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, thank you for waiting. I'm sorry about keeping you.
No
Um,
worries.
Thank you very much.
yeah, and if you have to go,
Yes,
yes.
so for example, to participate to the paid lesson, what should I do then?
Well, today's a free class. Today's free for everybody, not just you. Yeah, but
No,
so yeah.
yeah, if I wanted to attend a paid class, what should I do?
Can we talk about it afterwards? Is that okay?
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
you said you sent me a message, so I'll look at the
Okay, thank
message
you
and
very
I'll
much.
work out what to
Thank you
do.
very
Okay,
much.
sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Susie. Bye bye.
Okay, see you later. Thank
See you
you.
later.
See you next days.
See
Okay,
you
thank you
later.
very much.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye bye, Susie. Bye bye. Okay, Zach, over to you. So we read this couple of lines up here, so it's over to you. So it's of course, if you can start there, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Of course, I understood that I couldn't be simultaneously Caesar and the soldier who had brought the former in a state of uh, mystical awe. But there was nothing I could do about it. I was even suspected of lunacy and heresy, but as I gave no preference to any of those to whom I ascribed it, my memories, my accusers could not drag me to the stake. And that's how things continued for quite a while. I learned more and more about the world around me and about the people I came to live amongst. Over time, history resembled less and less the recollections I had of it. Gradually, I became Gustav Brown again, and Greece and Rome remind in the distant past where I had no place. Every night the rivers carried their waters to the sea. All those many stars gazed down on me from the heavens while I lay on the ground, protected by my shield, with my soul clasped in my hand, pondering my destiny for the countless time. How many fools offered me their entire wealth in exchange for my soul, thinking it was holy, with a wildfire in their eyes. They tried to persuade me to sell it, but when I refused, they would order me to give up my weapon, thinking it is the reason for my unsaleability. I don't know.
Mm, mm, mm.
God knows the measures I took to prove to them the vanity of their hopes. Once I simply threw the soul overboard when we were sailing with Columbus to India. But despite this, my hopes of dying in a battle for new lands were in vain. Spears, arrows, and bullets flew past me. Unarmed as I was, as before, knives and sabers could do me no harm. Naive natives started to fear my appearance, and whenever I did appear, they would prostrate themselves in front of me or flee in terror. Um, and this was how resistance of the most recalcitrant was smashed while I was having
Little
little
to
to do.
do. Okay, we'll end it there then. Okay, we'll end it there. Yes. Okay. So, and that is the last page right there. We won't, I don't think we'll have time to go to the end, will we? Um, how was that be? So you've read a lot of that. You've read pretty much that whole page there. That was fantastic. I thought it was brilliant reading, really good. Um, so anything you want to go over about here at this this bit here then?
Yeah, I think
Oh, yeah,
this
you
is
said the unassailable. So that's what it's that's the title of the story almost. So
unassailable, yeah.
yeah, that unassailability here. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Unassailability,
I
yeah.
think you pretty much had it, but you kind of gave up halfway through the word. So
Yeah, unassailability, yeah.
that's it. That's it. So anything,
I
anything
think when
else?
I saw the long word, which I never
Yeah,
seen before, but I just give up.
yeah. I understand that. Yes, but you were so close. Okay, doesn't matter. So okay, anything in particular that gets you or trips you
Um,
up?
yeah, there was a couple of things that I've definitely
Hmm.
ascribed. I
Yeah,
ascribed.
that's it. That's spot on. Yeah, ascribed. That's it. Ascribed. Yeah, well done.
Uh,
Exactly it.
obviously, my world. I think this is like
No,
one of the
no, actually, when you read it out, you had it spot on. You
really
actually
wow
had. I think I only heard it the once, really, early on over this side. I think it was. Oh, that one there probably. It was
yeah,
perfect. World. Yeah, that was fantastic. World.
world
It is a tricky. Yeah, you had it. You're pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. It's,
resemble. Mm.
oh, resemble is. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, resembled. If something looks like something else, you can say it resembles. You resemble my father, or something. You might say, or something like that. That's it. Yeah.
Recollections. Yeah, is it?
Um, yeah, it's more.
Rec
Most people say recollections.
yeah,
Recollections. I
recollections.
think
Yeah.
some people do say recollect. Some people do say that, but 90% of people say recollections. Yeah, that's it.
Ah, yeah, there was a tricky word which Simon, what is it? There was one. I think that was in paragraph above, or maybe yeah, at the beginning. Yeah, I couldn't be simultaneously. I that's
No, you're pretty much there. So most people say something like simultaneously, simultaneously, simultaneously.
simultaneously,
Simultaneously, I suppose. Simultaneously.
simultaneously.
Simultaneous. I think it's more sim, isn't it? It's more simultaneous, I should say.
Uh,
Sim, I'm getting it wrong myself now. I think there's probably two ways of saying it. Simultaneous. I think most people say simultaneously. They sort of rush it a little bit. Simultaneously. It just means at the same time. Two things are happening at the same time, or two or three things happening at the same time. So simultaneously, simultaneously, simultaneously. They're both acceptable, I think.
yeah, I think I've heard both versions. This is why I'm a bit confused because it's
Yeah.
simultaneously and simultaneously. Maybe I don't know.
It's not so much Simon. It's not really Simon. It's
Simul
simultaneous.
simultaneously.
Well, it's more. Yeah, I suppose you could say that way. Yes, simultaneously. I think most people say simultaneously. In Britain, I think most people say simultaneously. I think it might be that
Yeah,
in America. I never quite remember what it is, but
simultaneously.
okay. I
Simul
noticed this word too. So that's Caesar.
Caesar.
Julius Caesar,
Yeah,
leader of Rome. So
or
it's
Caesar
referring to
cut.
him. Yeah, Caesar. Yeah, Caesar. That's it.
Is
It's
it
a bit.
Caesarian cut or Caesar cut? Caesarian cut, is it?
I say Caesarian. I say Caesarian.
Caesarian, yeah.
Yeah, another one of those sort of Caesarian section. Sometimes I say that's it. Yeah. Oh, you had the mystical bit, and then you weren't sure here. So it doesn't. It's not obvious. You'd never guess it. So
Oh,
almost or
oh, yeah.
almost like or. You know the word or. It's
Yeah.
strange, isn't it?
I
So
I remember that we had somewhere that was before, and I knew it is like very short sound,
yeah,
like one sound literally.
yeah.
Mystical. Oh, yeah.
Or.
Or
almost like OR. You know, some people say that's awesome, awesome. If
awesome.
something's fantastic, they say, oh, that's awesome. Can I have one? It's the
Yeah.
or. It's so that it's the same orbit. Or at the front. Or
Okay.
awesome.
Awesome. Oh. Is
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
that
Just
sound?
say awesome. Just say awesome when you see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um, yeah. Okay. Anything
Is it
else?
is it heresy or heresy?
Yeah, heresy. Heresy. Yeah. So
Heresy.
lunacy and heresy. So that's
Yes.
madness.
Yeah.
If you're preaching heresy or talking heresy, you're talking sort of madness. If it's heresy, it's sort of against religion. Perhaps there's something that something in the, if you say something against the Bible, you could say that's heresy against the Bible, you might say. But it could be any religion, I suppose, really.
And there was a word saw. Is it saw or was it like the bigger knife?
Oh yeah,
Saw.
yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, yeah. You're pretty much there, but you kept missing off the D every time you said it. You seem to miss off the D at the end. So I would most people say sword,
Oh,
sword.
sword. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You pretty much had it, but I wonder why you kept missing the D off.
Sword.
Sword, sword. Yeah, definitely quite a strong D on the end there. Stored.
Yeah.
Definitely hear the D every time. This sort of thing. Um, the
Mm,
one word I noticed was down here somewhere. So it's a couple of weapons, so knives and
knives.
and sabers,
Saber.
sabers.
I am. I
Yeah.
said sabers. I think sabers. I
Ah, yes, Sudbury. Um, so a saber is sort of a particular kind of sword. It's a very particular kind of sword. It's a more fancy kind of a sword. It's a thinner blade, etc. Whatever. I think I might have curved into it. I can't remember.
Spears, bullets.
I liked your naive. That was fantastic. Yeah, that was good. Naive.
When
You'd
I
never
saw
guess
those
it.
dots above the eye, I was like, oh, it's
Yeah,
French. No,
like the double dotted I. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
mm.
umlauts, pretty much.
How were the THs? Obviously, we got face or that.
Some you had, and some you didn't. Some you got. I noted there were some these and those you were pretty good on, I thought. And I remember at the beginning, I remember the one up there. I think the T. I think you said it. I think you said. I think that was quite good. But what I did notice was the T was missing at the
Yeah,
end, and
that
yeah, it was that. That's right. Yeah, that. That's right. And the same with the it. The T was missing at the end, so it was
about it.
it, it. And I
Yeah.
think it was most of the its. Wherever the its were, you missed out the T, I think.
But
Yeah.
that's funny because in the past I used to say very strong T and D even at the bit of the end of the word
And you've
because
gone the other way, yeah.
now I went completely wrong way.
Strange, isn't it? But we've said this before, but you are sort of, I would say with your accent, I can definitely hear quite a strong East End accent to what you're saying, to how you speak, I should say. So the it and that, um, just
It-
missing, and you missed out some other T's perhaps too. So you missed out some of the letters at the end. That's sort of classic East End to miss out the letter, the last letter, the last T on the end of a word, sort of a thing. So you're doing the accent from where the area where you live, I understand. So
I have to
it's
move
it's
to,
kind of you've got a good, you actually got quite a good East End accent, but you'd obviously want to, not obviously, but I think you said you previously want to change it.
but this is not preference for me to be on this side.
Well, no, if you're trying to, I think it's normal. Everyone tries to do this to some degree. We always want to fit in with the group we're working with, or our friends, and so we just talk as they talk, or we do this kind of sports they do, the kind of football games, like the football teams they're interested in. It's natural, isn't it? That's just natural. You're doing what's natural. So don't decry it, sort of a thing. It's everyone does that really. But the problem is, of course, other people do judge you a little bit as a result. That's the problem we're talking about, I guess, isn't it?
He's like belongs to one of the tribe, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, another word that I noticed, thinking, just noticed it here. So this is that famous guy who traveled
Uh,
to America,
Col-
but he,
Columbus or
but yeah, but he was looking for India. So yeah, Columbus. I think it's a Col. I can't get into it now. But we say Columbus. Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus. Columbus. Columbus sailed to America.
Christopher
Columbus.
Columbus. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yes, that's how you said. Yeah, it was the other way. Yes. So Columbus. Yeah, Columbus. That's yeah, tricky. Um, should we just go back over some of those words? It's great, sort of coming up with all these words, but remembering it is the thing, isn't it? So we did this one here. So remember, it was knives and
And uh,
yeah,
Seb, no, Seber, no,
yeah, pretty much. Just a bit more confidence and
Sebers. I don't
yeah,
know.
almost sabers, sabers.
Sabers. Yeah.
Saber. So just a kind of sword, which I've given you a clue for the next one. So that word
Mm.
again there.
Sword.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Um, I can't find any more words there.
There's a one word at the end of this which yeah, that one, yeah.
That one. So yeah, I think you pretty much had it actually. Recalcitrant.
Le,
R r
recalcit
recalcitrant.
recalcitrant.
Yeah. So let's click on it and bring the dictionary up. And so it says having an obstinately uncooperative attitude towards authority or discipline. So when someone doesn't like being disciplined, they're sort of recalcitrant, you could say, recalcitrant. You don't use it very often. Just it doesn't everyday language. I've never used it in my entire life, probably. Recalcitrant. Um, I think you said vanity. That was great. If
Vanity.
something's vain, if you get rid of the ity and put an e there, you can say it just means emptiness. Well, it's empty, I should say. So vanity is emptiness. So you could say that beauty is vanity. Some people might say that because it's a bit sort of meaningless beauty in a way. It doesn't get you anything, doesn't it really? Um, so maybe that word again there. We did these words previously.
Heresy.
Yeah, that's it. Heresy. And then it was mystical.
Mystical. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Awe. That's it. Awe.
Oh.
Mystical awe. Like
Oh.
O-R. Like
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh.
Awe.
Mystical.
Uh,
Oh.
do you remember awesome? Remember awesome?
Awesome.
So
Oh.
yeah, awe. It's more like O-R, like a capital O-R. Awe. This sort of awe here.
Oh.
Awe.
Oh.
Do you want
Yeah.
apples or oranges? Or that sort of awe. Yeah,
Oh.
that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, or. Um, I'm sure there were. So did sword. Simul. So simultane. This one simultane.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Simultaneously. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. Well done. I can't think of any other ones now. Did we do this guy here? So we did simultaneously. What was that guy's name?
Uh, Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar. Yeah, Caesar. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, great. I think we've done it. You've done it. Well done. That's good. Oh, maybe just this one here. So the guy who went to America,
Columbus.
it's more Columbus.
Ah,
Columbus.
Columbus. Okay.
Columbus.
Columbus.
Columbus. Yeah, it's pretty much there, really. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I suppose Colombia, the country Colombia, gets its name from him, I suppose. I guess it does. But they're different spellings. Different spelling. I'm not sure they're different spellings now.
I think it's Columbia. Double
Yeah.
O is it? O L O.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's but yeah, CLO. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, CLOL. Yeah.
I think it's the universities EU. This is why people tricked as well when they pronounce Columbia and Colombia.
Columbia. Yeah, Columbia University. Yeah. And there's just a city called Columbia, isn't there? And there's the state in Canada. Is it British Columbia? Yeah, British Columbia.
Albert, I think it's called Albert Columbia. Oh, maybe no, it's
Yeah.
Albert.
Alberta is Alberta, that's true. Yeah, and Columbia, British Columbia. But often
Yeah.
with the states all the American states and the Canadian states, they just get reduced to two letters. So British Columbia just becomes BC. Not always, of course, but because it gets confused with American states, doesn't it? I think. Yeah, there we go. That's fantastic. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Is it just you and I think now? I'm not sure now. I think the other guy, I think Ruslan went, I think. Okay, because
No,
we
no,
can get.
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ruslan. Oh, sorry, Ruslan. Oh, sorry.
No
Do you have any
problem.
questions about this little thing here?
No, I think now it is okay. Yeah, probably tomorrow we will read next page and
Yeah,
then yeah.
yeah. We'll go over the page here. It's gone now. That is
Yeah.
it now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a strange story, isn't it? So this guy, we don't. Oh, we get this guy called Gustav Braun. So I think that's brown. That's brown in German, isn't it? Braun, I think. I don't know what Gustav is, but Braun. But so you could say brown if you really wanted to, but a lot of people would just say brawn. I think they would say brawn. Most people would now say that nowadays. There's probably a couple of different ways of saying brawn. But so anyway, this guy, Gustav Brown, in this weird story, somehow he knew Alexander the Great from before Christ was born. He also knew Caesar, although Caesar and Alexander were 300 years apart. How he knew them, I don't know. And he also knew Columbus, who went to America about 500 years ago. So what do you make of this story? So Ruslan, we've all looked at this story yesterday or Monday, whenever it was. So you have
Yeah.
your own ideas already. So Zach, do you have anything to add to this weird story?
Uh,
We're almost at the end,
I
but
don't
you've got the
know.
gist of it, I think.
The guy got retros. Or what's the word? Mm, retrospections? Oh no. Was it?
Oh, resurrection, you mean? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because he
kind
came
of.
back
Yeah,
from the dead, resurrection. You can
yeah.
come back from the dead is you get resurrected, don't you? But if we go back to the previous page, remember it said someone was invincible, so he couldn't be beaten, is the meaning of that word. Or
Mm,
somebody couldn't be beaten. And I think it's him, isn't it? There's Gustav, he couldn't be beaten. But also, that's really what the title of the story means. Remember at the very beginning, we were saying if you're unassailable, you can't be beaten. That's what it really means. You can't be beaten. So it's this Gustav. He can't, I don't, he can't be beaten, and I think he just doesn't die. That's what it is. I think
it's
he's
like did you watch Deadpool?
did that was what?
There's a comedy called Deadpool. The he's a hero. You can't kill him.
Oh, okay. Death pole.
I think it's Deadpool.
Oh, dead pole. Okay. I have to search that then. Dead pole. Okay. Great,
Yeah,
Knack.
it's funny. It's a bit strong language in a way, but it's
Yeah.
funny.
Okay. I'll probably look into that then, definitely.
Okay, Tony, thank you. It was great.
Okay. See you
And
then, Zach. Thanks for coming. See you next time if you can make it.
bye.
Next.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, let's end the class here then for the moment.
Yeah.
How do I end it? Um, yeah, here we go. Got it.